Hi guys, myself Gagan. I'm here to explain about introductions to 2D and 3D graphics. The graphics are the building blocks of visual communications. The languages of art, design and multimedia. The 2D and 3D graphics plays important role in film industry and gaming and web development. Let us see the fundamentals of 2D graphics. The 2D graphics are created on a flat point which the two dimensions, the wide, height and they are compressed of the pixels, points, lengths and shapes. Let us see the smallest unit of the digital image is called pixels. The represented paths are connected between the 2 points are often used to create the outline or border is called lines. The closed frames that can be filled with the colors or patterns, basically it known as the shapes. And color is rendering and filling the colors. The pixels based on rendering in 2D images. The pixels based on 2D rendering techniques are widely used image creating using the individual images. The raster graphics, advantages and disadvantages. Let us see the advantages. The great for detailed image and restyling the effective photos and multiplications. They are highly versatile and it can be manipulated in the various ways. The disadvantages is when scaling up the image can appear pixelated or losing the quality. The editing requires work with an individual pixels. The resting graphics, the images are stored in the grid or a pixels. These images can be edited at the pixel levels. Example, JPG or PNG files. Now, the vector-based rendering in the 2D. The vector-based rendering uses the mathematical equation to define the shape, line or color. The vector graphics are created using the points, lines and curves. This allows the scalability and smoothing lines. The advantages of this vector graphics is that can be raised without losing the quality. And the vector images are suitable for logos, icons and illustrations. The main disadvantages that can lose the detail, the images can lose the details and based on the graphics may not be suitable for the photorealistic effects. And the transition of the 3D graphics. The 3D graphics expands upon 2D graphics by introducing the depth and allowing to create the realistic and immersive environment. The depth perceptions. The z-axis is added to create the illusion of the depth, and the 3D objects are represented using the polygons, which are geometric shapes that can define the surface of the object. The lighting and shading are the source of the images that can provide the realistic textures. The z-axis and the depth perceptions. The z-axis adds the third dimensions. The depth allows the representation of the object in the space. In 2D, the depth and height are the two perceptions. But in the 3D, there are three perceptions that are the width, height, and depth. The polygon-based 3D rendering. The polygons are used to define the shape of the object and create the illusion of the depth and the volume. Like example, triangles, the most commonly used polygon in the 3D modeling because of their simple and efficient to render. The quads, the polygons are with the four sides are often used to create the flat surfaces. The mesh, the meshes are used a network of a polygon that forms the surface of the 3D objects. Now, the lightning and the shading in the 3D. The lighting and shading techniques are used to create the realistic and versatile appearances in the 3D objects. Abundant lighting. The general illusion that provides the overall brightness to the screen is called abundant lighting. The lighting that comes from the single direction or stimulated by a sun or a spotlight is called directional lighting. The light that renders from the single point in the space and similar to the light bulb is called the point lighting. The technique which stimulates the light from all the sides, it provides the realistic view from the user is called shading. These are the important lighting and shading in the 3D techniques. Let us see the texture and materializing in the 3D. The texture is plays an important role in realism 3D objects by defining the surface properties. The texture, the image or patterns applied to the surface to create the visual details such as wood, greens or bricks or patterns or fabric patterns uses the texture and materials that defines how the light interacts with the surface and determine how they reflect or diffuse or absorb the light and propose properties. The materials have a properties such as color, roughness, shyness and transparency which influence how the light interact with them. The conclusion of our topic is the 2D and 3D graphic plays a crucial role in the various industries. Understanding their fundamentals in essentiality from anyone interested in the visual communication or design or computer graphics are welcome. Thank you.